Welcome to Rick's Corner. I have Doug Brignoli back, one of my most popular guests, and you guys ask for him over and over. So he's back here to discuss some things with us, right?
Glad to be here.
I'm glad to
Love
have
being
you
on your show.
And we want to talk about synthol.
Boy, what a mess that is, huh?
Yeah, it's a huge conversational problem, I believe, throughout the bodybuilding community, and a lot of guys use it, and a lot of guys that use it, you don't even know they use it. Depends on to the degree that you inject it for the result you're going to get.
Right. You know, I know some people that actually don't know that that isn't muscle.
Oh, I know, I'm sure.
The untrained eye, the people who don't know what a bodybuilder actually is supposed to look like, will see that, and they see all these bumps, and they think, and of course, that's part of the reason why these guys do that, is because it fools people into thinking it's actually muscle, and it isn't.
There was a Guinness World Record this past year. The guy got the biggest arms, and they had him on Guinness Records.
Why give him that credit?
Wait, and it was synthol, and it was obvious, and the newscaster had no idea, Guinness had no idea, and somebody disputed it, and they took it away from him.
Well, I mean, tape measure is tape measure.
Right.
Biggest is biggest. I mean, it could be a big fat arm.
It could be, but they're talking about muscle.
Okay.
Obviously, they're talking about muscles.
Yeah. Well, they should have categories: the biggest fat arm, the biggest muscle arm, the biggest, synthetic arm.
Exactly. And then I'm posting some pictures on here of a guy that was on the internet, and he was just an average-sized guy.
Right.
He went overboard with this. His traps. He walks down the street, and people all stare at him. He gets a lot of attention.
And he loves that.
And he loves it.
Yeah.
And then he's starting to regret it. He's starting getting infections.
Right.
There's things happening going through his system.
Yeah.
You know, you're injecting stuff in your system that doesn't belong in there.
Well, you know what I said to someone recently? I said, imagine putting a breast implant without the container. You're just putting the silicone in there.
That's it.
And it's going to just spread and create all kinds of life forms.
Yeah, and it has to break down and go through the body. It has to come down through the bloodstream somehow.
And there's all kinds of infection risks and all kinds of, not to mention the fact that it's ugly. I mean, it's not even.
No,
it's bumpy and lumpy, and it's not the way muscle looks.
There's a guy in my gym who has a great body. He's in his 50s. He trains hard. He's a strong, good-looking guy. Had a great body, and he decided to go the extra mile and do the synthol. Yeah. He's got his traps, his delts, his biceps, his triceps. I don't know. He's got it everywhere. His pecs. And all of a sudden, he gets this red spot on his bicep, and it starts to scab, and it starts to ooze pus. And it started to get a, what do you call this?
Abscess?
Like abscess, yeah.
Right.
And the bicep wasn't round anymore. It came to a point like this, and you can see when his bicep's hanging, it's this pointed triangle.
Yeah.
And he's embarrassed about it.
I can imagine it's a little bit like what happens to these women that do just tons of cosmetic surgery.
Yes.
And when it doesn't go quite right, they go back to try to fix, back to try to fix, back to try to fix.
And it gets worse and worse.
And it gets worse and worse because you keep trying to. So it's a little uneven. If you bring this up, you bring that. Pretty soon you're just got a disaster on your hands.
Totally a disaster. He looks. You can see when he comes in, the delts are way out, the traps are way up, and it's just not normal because there's nothing else matches. You know, the back doesn't match, the pecs don't match, and so it's really uneven.
Now, sometimes this happens with regular steroid use, where you just get an infection.
Oh, yeah.
And these guys, I've seen it. There was one contest that I looked at, and it was just... I just feel you have to be penalized for it. You know, he had apparently gotten an infection in his deltoid. I don't think it was synthol, but his deltoid went and then there was like a point.
Yes.
And then it went back to a regular, and it was just so distracting. And I felt like you've got to be penalized for that. You cannot reward that.
No, there was a guy in my gym that did the synthol here, and it dropped to here.
Oh, God.
And so he had this big lump on the side of his arm. The other arm didn't have it.
Which is the place where you have to go in, not out.
Right, exactly. So these are things that, they don't know what they're doing. You can buy this, I believe you can buy the stuff on bodybuilding.com.
Oh, yeah.
You can heat it up and mix it and inject it yourself.
And it's not expensive.
It's not expensive. It's very painful.
Yeah.
And you got to do it every day.
I didn't know it was painful.
Well, you're shooting into the muscle with a big needle.
Yeah.
And you got to do it every day. Yeah. You can use lidocaine with it, but then you're using another drug, a lidocaine drug, just to numb it. And then you got to get it in the right spot. Now, in the bicep, it's too high, so his bicep comes here, then it drops. And if you get it too low, the bicep comes real low. And you've seen these on the internet of these guys using the synthol, and they're so proud of what they look like. And it's not muscle.
I just wrote an article. I'm actually trying to find a home for the article right now. It's called What Motivates You and Why? And it really begs the question, what would motivate someone to do something like that, right? And then I say in my article, there's productive motivation and destructive motivation. And then there's motivations that have nothing to do with either. It's just you desperately needing some kind of attention, even if it's negative attention.
Exactly. Well, we know women like that.
but there's got to be some reason, some reasonableness.
Well, it's an insecurity.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, everybody works out. I mean, that works out wants to have a nice body. I think, for me, I told somebody once, "Why do you work out?" I said, "Well, first of all, I enjoy it.
Yeah.
And the rewards are something you carry with you."
By the way, that guy that you're mentioning, he had a great body, decent body,
Yeah.
before he did all that.
Totally.
I mean, he wasn't massive, but he had a nice, healthy-looking body.
Yeah, and then they said, you know, your arm is oozing all over. You either have to cover it or don't come in the gym because it's dripping on all the pads and the equipment, and this is infection.
Oh my God.
You know, this is like crazy shit.
Yeah, no, I mean, it'll turn into something that you can then catch.
Exactly. If you have an open wound and you lay on there, you're going to get the same thing.
Right. You know, some of those bacteria can last on an open surface for 2 weeks.
I got a staph infection in the gym, and actually it was a MRSA in my elbow.
For those of you that don't know what MRSA is, it's a methicillin-resistant strain of Staphylococcus,
Yes.
whatever it is, staph.
Yes.
Which basically means that penicillin and methicillin, it's learned how to beat this.
Yes.
It's very hard to kill that.
And it can kill you.
Yeah.
I had a staph infection when I had my quad surgery.
Yeah.
And my knee exploded in 24 hours. I could hardly walk, and it was oozing everywhere.
Yeah.
Took about 4 weeks to get rid of that infection. Actually, 8 weeks.
Yeah.
And what they do is they pack it with gauze for oxygen because it kills it,
Right.
plus antibiotics. Well, then I got it in my finger when
There's only a couple antibiotics that now work on it.
Only a few.
Doxycycline is one, and they're assuming that it's going to be smart enough to eventually beat that.
Exactly.
So eventually they're going to have to find some new antibiotics.
But the gym is the worst place to catch
The
this
gym
stuff.
is one of the worst
I had an
places.
open cut. I was laying on a bench, and I got something in my elbow, and I started feeling my elbow starting to burn when I lean on it.
Yeah.
So I go to the doctor, and he says, my arm's starting to swell up, my hand's swollen, full of fluid. He says, you've got MRSA. He says, we got to attack this right now.
Yeah, right.
It took about 5 weeks for it to go down normal.
Yeah. Listen, you know, we've all been told this. Most of us ignore it. Wash your hands
Oh, totally.
as often as you can, because you can literally shake hands with someone who has MRSA.
Yeah.
And you can have it on your hand, and it's fine until you scratch your eye or until you scratch your cut.
Yeah.
And once it's found a way in your body, now you're in trouble. So wash your hands, get it off your skin as soon as you can, because it could turn into something.
And the
serious.
gym is the biggest place to find it.
Right. Wash your hands.
You have sweat on the benches. You have people lean on them. They pick their ass. They pick their nose.
Yeah.
And so if you have an open wound, or you're using like a curling bench and it's on your arm, careful that you don't have something that's going to go
absolutely.
into it.
Yeah,
That's where it comes from.
yeah.
So what I'm saying is synthol injections are all over your body, and you're doing the bicep, the tricep, the shoulders, or this just for whatever reason, you're open to infection.
You know, it's. I was doing some research on this because I knew we were going to talk about this today, and so I was looking at these pictures of these guys that had done this, and I thought, the pictures that we typically see are the guys that have overdone it. Dramatically, right? And there's no doubt we don't like that, right? But I can see how a guy could start with just a little bit.
Sure.
He's thinking just a little bit would be okay. And that's how it starts. Every one of these guys start, and then they lose perspective. So I'm just warning you guys, don't be tempted to even do it a little bit, because it's going to become an addiction, and you're going to become a cartoon character, and people are going to be laughing at you. And not to mention the health problems.
Not only that, the same thing happens with testosterone, DEC, or any of the anabolics. A little bit will work. If
Yeah.
you go a lot, you think it's going to be better. It's not always better.
No, absolutely not.
You have a side effect from it when you inject too much, and it affects your red blood cells. It can affect your heart. It can affect all kinds of things. Everything in moderation.
Well, and we also, we can't assume to know what everybody does and why they do it.
No.
But we hope that we're trying to do a bodybuilding lifestyle because it makes us look better and makes us healthier.
Right.
Things within reason keep us healthy. Things above reason do not.
In shape, I'm lighter now than I was when I was bodybuilding way back then. I feel better, lighter. I'm older, but I'm in good shape. And people say, "Wow, you're in really good shape." I don't have to be huge and big and overdone to have people say they notice me.
Right.
You just got to be healthy looking and feel
Right.
good. When you get to the point where you're using the synthol and you're being so big, you're grotesque. I saw this guy, he's walking the street, and people are just looking at him like, "What does it look like? Loaves of bread on his arms."
Right.
And they're not muscular; they're
Right.
heavy loaves.
And some guys have been doing like the calf implants and the pec implants, and that's not as dangerous because it's done in a medical setting. It's done by a doctor. It's not done by you in your bedroom or your bathroom.
Right.
But even still, my feeling about it, and it's only my feeling about it, is that when you stand on stage, you walk down the street, and you've got a muscular build, that's your work.
Yeah.
That's your creation.
That's your artwork.
You did that with sweat, and that's something to be proud of. Is your sweat.
Yeah.
Right? The idea that you're putting a sack in there, it's almost like it's ridiculous, is putting on a muscle suit.
Exactly.
It's clearly not you. Who are you fooling? You're not fooling anybody. And even if you were, it's not real. So why do that?
Yeah. And it doesn't increase your strength.
No, it doesn't
Not at
increase.
all.
It doesn't increase anything really other than just fooling some people who don't know that it's. But you know, when a muscle is lean and muscular, you see striations in it.
Right.
This synthol stuff has no striations, and the implants, of course, might, only because it's behind the muscle.
Well,
but it's still not worth it.
Nowadays, I mean, for years now, you see a woman has implants. There's very few that don't.
Yeah.
And you go down and say, oh, she's got them, she's got them, she's got them, she's got them. And there's nothing real there anymore.
You know, look, I know guys, my training partner's one of them, who says, hey, I don't mind. I mind.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I'm sorry if that offends some people. It's my opinion that I don't like them, and I just don't like the idea that you think that matters so much, that's what defines you as a woman.
Yeah.
That big breasts is the difference between being feminine and not. There's so many things that make a woman feminine other than the size of their breasts.
My saying is, anything over a mouthful is wasted.
Well, and the other thing too is, you know, confidence is very sexy.
Yes.
A woman who doesn't have large breasts, who's confident,
Sure.
who's in shape,
Yeah.
who's got a nice waist, nice butt, nice legs, nice hair,
It doesn't even have to be gorgeous.
Yeah.
So all these artificial things don't make you any better than what you do. And the synthol, people really know it, and they look at you and you think you're fooling them, but you're not fooling them. They know.
It's I don't know how many people in the audience have actually seen somebody, but it's disastrous.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy we're talking about,
Google
the guy with the tattoo on the side here,
Yeah.
you know, he's got no lats, he's got no legs,
Yeah.
his abs aren't ripped,
Right.
he's just got this monstrous traps and pecs and delts.
That's it.
He just literally looks like a cartoon character gone bad.
Yep, yep. But it gets attention.
Yeah. I was going to say the Gold's Gym logo looks a little bit like the
No,
Synthol.
yeah, he does actually. Any more to add to that?
No, I think that subject is covered. I just cannot say enough against the idea of
Right.
synthol. Even the idea of synthol is a terrible idea, but the actuality of it is just deadly.
And injecting yourself with a needle and not cleaning the area and have it germ free.
They were thinking that guy might have to have his arm amputated.
I heard that.
And I've actually seen, if you Google synthol, you will actually see some muscle eruptions.
Exactly.
Where it actually explodes and it's just filled with pus.
Disgusting.
It's just a really grotesque thing to do. And
then you end up not training or having anybody after that.
It's the opposite of a healthy bodybuilding lifestyle.
Exactly. Well, thank you, Doug.
My pleasure.
And thank you guys for watching. Just take this to mind. If you decide to do something like that, think about what we talked about, look at the photos and say, I can build a better body just training and eating right. You don't need this artificial oil to go into your system.
Right.
Okay?
Yep, absolutely.
Thanks for watching Rick's Corner, and we'll see you next time.
It's RickDrayson.com. He is the equalizer, baby. See you next time.